So we have some good corporate governance coming from one of the strangest places. Chesapeake Energy, the poster child of bad behavior, has come out with some interesting new twists with a new board. Tell us about what's going on there, Chris.
Well, obviously, Aubrey McClendon has been the poster child for bad corporate governance for a very, very long time. He's taken advantage of shareholders in every which way. And a new board was installed after a shareholder revolt last year, and they've finally started to.
So what are they doing now? What have we seen that we like?
Well, we love the fact that he's not getting a bonus, which is entirely justified.
Which is a new. He's never had a zero bonus.
He's never had a zero bonus that I can see.
Well, in contrast,
back.
I think you make the point that in the 2008, which most people remember as a truly terrible year,
and was a bad year for Chesapeake,
and was a bad year for Chesapeake, and a bad year for McClendon because I think he'd borrowed some money to buy some shares, and of course the shares had gone down, so he was on his beam ends. They gave him nearly $80 million of bonus that year, so it's a bit of a contrast.
So after last year's bad year, he's finally actually sort of commensurate with performance.
Yeah, they turned a blind eye to the fact that he was running a hedge fund in the office, speculating on the very product that Chesapeake produces. But there were other good governance changes. They've taken on board shareholder votes to change the way that directors are elected.
And they're also going to pursue this idea to move from Oklahoma to Delaware, which is will set up some better case law for shareholders.
Yeah, some would say that as sort of an Oklahoma kingpin, McClendon has everything in his pocket over there, so a move to Delaware would be more neutral territory. Shareholders are going to get a better shake over there.
Now, Richard, this is, this gives a little bit of hope maybe for shareholders. We've written, and particularly even yesterday, we talked about the idea that the oil industry is pretty bad.
And we
governance all around.
As recently as yesterday, we were talking about now this is not a Chesapeake is one of the bad examples from the oil sector, and we were comparing. Chris did quite a lot of work comparing with the technology sector out in Silicon Valley, who often have these multiple share structures that give founders sort of immunity from a lot of shareholder action. And actually, one of the things we said was, the oil sector, because that's not how it is in the oil sector. These are just guys who are entrenched and have been able to get away with this stuff. Shareholders can change it because they have the votes.
And Chesapeake, we now see
an example of this actually happening.
Because this was Carl Icahn, some other activists got in there and really have pushed for this stuff.
So unlike, technology maybe doesn't have the egregious abuses yet, but one day it may do. And when that happens, because of these multiple shares, shareholders may not be able to do anything about it. In the oil sector, now that shareholders have woken up to some of these issues, they can do something about it. And so there's other companies, Sandridge is one that you've mentioned, Chris, where similar moves are afoot to try and fix some of these corporate governance things, and I think that it's interesting that Chesapeake is finally setting a good example.
Leading the way. Well, we'll leave it there. We'll take comfort in unlikely places and be back with more Breaking Views tomorrow.